How did I become a political scientist? And what even is one of those anyway? Broadly speaking, a political scientist is someone who does research on politics using methods that are kind of scientific. In my case, that means that I run big public opinion surveys or experiments, or even just write theoretical essays about politics, all in the service of kind of furthering our knowledge of how politics works. The particular research questions that I typically focus on in my research are about how people think about the political future. So I've done work on sort of how people predict election outcomes, levels of like hope and optimism in politics, and attitudes towards long-term policy, among other things. I go to present findings from my research at conferences and write it up into articles for peer-reviewed journals, or even appear on the radio or in the media when there are findings from my research that are relevant to recent news. Like most political scientists, I'm employed by a university to do this work. The main way into this career is to do a PhD, which involves coming up with a topic or idea that you want to do research on, applying to universities and to external funders to support that research project, and then spending about 3 years or often more writing a sort of 60 to 100,000 word thesis about that topic, presenting the findings of your research. Through doing the PhD, you learn how to become a researcher, but you also make a contribution in your own right through your thesis. My thesis was about how finding out the results of election polls can affect the way people vote. I submitted that thesis in 2021, I passed, and very luckily I also won a prize for my thesis. When you're coming to the end of your PhD, you can start applying for academic jobs at universities, whether that's a permanent lectureship, where you might be employed on a permanent basis to do teaching and research at a university, or maybe a teaching-focused position, or like a fixed-term research-focused position, which is often known as a postdoc, and that's what I have. I've already done 2 other postdocs at other universities, but now I've found my way back to the same university in London where I did my PhD to do a 3rd postdoc. And it's been pretty productive. I've published quite a lot of research in academic journals, and there's more coming. So I have started to want to reach a bit of a broader audience than just the academics who are reading these journals, and that's why I'm here.